Thanks to this AI voice assistant, I no longer have to answer my phone, manage bookings or basic customer requests. Everything can be outsourced to AI. Let me show you how.
Hey there, my name is Ellen.
Hey Ellen, how you going?
Hey, I'm Ellen and I'm doing great, thanks for asking. How about you? What can I help you with today?
Yeah, I was wondering if you have any availability next week on the Wednesday the 26th for a family photo shoot.
Great, a family photo shoot sounds fun. Before we dive into the availability, could you share your name with me?
Yeah, sorry, my name is Liam.
Thanks, Liam. And could you let me know your phone number, please?
Yep, it's 012345567.
Hold on a second while I check our calendar. Alright, so for Wednesday the 26th, we've got a few time slots available for your family photo shoot. 9, 10 a.m., 2, 3 p.m., and 3, 5 p.m. Which one works best for you?
Can we do 10 a.m.?
Alright, let's go ahead and book your family photo shoot for 10 a.m. on the 26th. Just to confirm, your name is Liam, and your phone number is 012345567, right?
Yeah, that's
correct. Hold on a
correct.
second while I check our calendar. You're all set for your family photo shoot at 10 a.m. on the 26th.
Excellent.
Is there anything else you'd like to know about?
No, that's good. Thanks very much. Alright, so now that you've seen how an AI voice agent sounds and feels and what it can already do, let me show you how it actually works from the concept side. Basically, what happens is this. You can see it on the right here. You have a phone number, and if you call that phone number, it gets redirected to the AI. Then, when the person talks through the phone, that speech, first of all, gets transcribed into text. That text gets sent to something like ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT gives an output, right? So if you say something like, "Hi, how are you doing?" It gets transcribed into text, ChatGPT understands it, and it answers, "I'm doing good, how are you?" And that output, once again, gets converted by another AI into actual speech, which gets sent back through the phone. And the cool thing about this is, once you've got that basic system working, you can add arms and legs to this whole thing, right? So for example, these are called functions. You could add something like, give it an arm which allows it to access your calendar. You can give it one that accesses your email, your customer support documents, your CRM, right? All these things are actual things that it can interact with and decide. When the customer asks something, it can decide which of these features it needs to use to actually do something valuable, right? And this is a huge step that many people don't understand. AI isn't just text within a box. AI can be used to generate text, which is used to generate instructions, which are used to actually do something, like booking a slot in the calendar. And you can get really complex with this. You can have one overall assistant, which has arms and legs, and those arms and legs are other AI agents. And those agents, once again, have access to lots of functions. And you can see how this whole thing kind of expands into this massive system, which you can install in pretty much any side of your business, right? And this is why these things are so valuable. It can do everything a human could do on the digital side, including talking to people through a phone. Now that you roughly understand how this whole system works, let me actually show you the details of how we set this thing up in the background so you have a rough idea of how to set one of these up yourself. If you want an in-depth tutorial, let me know, but this will be enough to at least give you an idea of the topic so that you know which steps you have to take in order to successfully complete one of these. Now that you have a rough idea of how the concept of an AI agent is put together, let me show you what this looks like on the back end. So the tech stack that you'll need is Vapi, which is the AI voice agent. You need an account at something like ChatGPT, and you need an account at Make. All right, Make is an automations platform used to hook everything up together. ChatGPT is of course ChatGPT, and Vapi is basically the brain, the orchestration layer of this whole system. So let's start here, right? What you do is you go onto Assistants and you click Create a New Assistant, like I've done here, and you call it Appointment Setter 2. And then you can give it, first of all, there are these 5 or 6 things that you have to go through in order to complete it on the Vapi side. First of all, you add the brain. You add the overall prompt that'll make this thing think. And in this case, I've just used a very basic prompt structure which is role, core task, contexts, and then you go into specifics, style, and examples, right? And basically, you first of all tell it who it is, right? So for example, Ellen, a digital receptionist for Luminous Photography. Then you tell it what its core tasks are, which is collect client information, get clients, get them booked into a call. You can give it a context, which is just some general information about the business. And then you can give it some more specifics of how it should act, how it should collect the information, when it should say something, and examples, and also, the style and tone is very important. You could use something like warm and friendly, or always be concise, and so on. You have a lot of control over this. So that's the brain, right? That's how you tell it how should you work, who are you. You're basically creating a brain from scratch. And here, of course, you can select your provider, like OpenAI's ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you want. Now, I always use GPT 4.0 because it might be a little bit slower than others, but it's way more accurate, and it enables you to call those arms and legs, those functions, a lot better than if you were using a faster model like 4.0 mini. All right, next part, right? This is the transcriber. And in this case, I just always use deepgram, language English, just leave it the way it is. With voice, this is actually where it gets fun. You can play around with a lot of different voices. I find the 11 Labs voices are the best, and you can just play around, see whichever ones you like most. The cool thing about Vapi is you are only charged based on usage. So for example, you can see here you have a fixed Vapi costs of 5 cents per minute. Then the deepgram transcriber costs 1 cent per minute. The voice of 11 Labs, which is this, costs you 3.6 cents a minute. And the latency on the right you can also view. So for example, if we took something like OpenAI, it'd get cheaper, but the latency is higher, and the voice isn't as nice, to be honest. So basically, you can just play around with whichever one you want. There's no right or wrong, just choose whichever voice sounds the least robotic. And then you can go into the functions tab. And in the functions, you can set these up separately as well. These are actually also called tools. So in this case, we have only 2 functions set up. You can add way more. We have book calendar and check calendar. And these are the arms and legs I talked about, right? So for example, when the assistant hears something like, do you have an appointment available tomorrow? It uses the check calendar function. And then it sends a request to make. And within make, I know this looks crazy complex, but just bear with me for a sec. What would happen is it would go through here. Then it first of all here, it checks, is this a weekend or not? If it's a weekend, then it sends a response back saying, sorry, we're not open on the weekends, for example. If it's not a weekend, it keeps going here. And then here it decides, was this this function, is it something that we need to book something in the calendar, or do you just want to check? And if you just want to check, it goes down this route. It checks the calendar, and then it formulates a response and sends that back if specific time slots are already taken. And if the whole day is free, then it goes down this path and just tells you pick whatever time you want, right? And all the details of these individual modules we can do step by step in another video. This is just an overview of how the whole system should work. Right, so then if, for example, you find a slot that's nice, then you can say, okay, please book an appointment at 10 a.m. on Friday. Then it would go, okay, let's use the book calendar function. It'd send another request to this workflow. It'd go through the same process, check if it's a weekday or not. If it's not, then it goes here. And then it goes down to the Google Calendar function, because this part here, I can go into the details. It checks if the function name, which has been requested by Vapi, if it's called book calendar. And if it's called book calendar, then it goes down this path and it actually makes an appointment, right? And here you can have variables like you can name the thing that's the event that's created in the calendar. You can have it the name of the person calling plus the, for example, photography family session, right? And you can have all these variables swapped out and automatically updated by the AI assistant. All right, Then there are a couple of other extras that I've built into this workflow. So for example, as soon as the call ends, it sends another request through here, and then it goes up to here. And what this could be your CRM. In my case, I've just used Airtable, and it sends information to a spreadsheet in this case. So for example, I believe that this was the one that we did last. You would click on one of these, so maybe this one, and you'd see a summary. Liam called to schedule a family photo shoot. He booked a session for Wednesday the 26th, 10 a.m., confirming his name and phone number with Ellen, the receptionist. And you get the duration. You can actually listen to the recording as well. You can click on here and then play the recording, right? Which is awesome. And then you have an overview of what actually happened as a business owner. And of course, we can add further automations to this. You can have, at the end of every month, another AI agent check all the transcriptions, check the summaries, and see if there's anything that customers might want, right? So you get an automatic report. And this is just something that you as a business owner, you can't do. You can't listen to every phone call or just check all of these at the end of every month. And just to get a rough idea of which direction you need to steer the business, this is a great way to capture lost information and of course save a bunch of time. Okay, that's basically the overall system of how to set up an AI agent. Of course, there's a ton more details. You can add way more functions. You can add a specific knowledge base, which, for example, if you're a restaurant, you can add your menu, you can add your opening times, you can add anything you like, right? Even if people ask, are you wheelchair accessible, right? You can add anything you want, and this way the assistant can also answer specific questions, and you'd add that knowledge base over here. Alright, I hope now you have a little insight into how an AI voice agent can actually help you as a business owner to save a bunch of time and gather valuable knowledge. If this sounds at all interesting, we are offering free consultation calls for the next 30 days. So if you click below this video, there'll be a link where you can book a private one-on-one call with me, where we can go through your business and see which processes and which systems we should automate, right? And that's completely free. The consultation won't cost you a thing. Now, I hope you learned something. If you want me to do a more in-depth tutorial on how to set up the prompts, how to hook up the make workflows and all of that, I can do that. We can do a literal full 2-hour build together from start to finish. And until then, I hope you have a great day and I'll see you soon.